Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the top-down Grand Theft Autos and why they don't really get any love or appreciation. You see, when people talk about old Grand Theft Autos, they usually bring up games from the PS2 generation like GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. Even some of the newer ones like Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories. But nobody really brings up the Grand Theft Autos from the PS1 generation. And today, we're going to be talking about the games of this generation. We're going to talk about the good and the bad of these games. We're going to talk about how weird Rockstar was in this generation. So I guess, here we go. Before we start talking about the greatness of these games, let's just talk about how they work for a second. You pick out a character, you give him a name, and you start off in the city with just a car. You go to these payphones and these people give you missions. They could either be stealing a car, killing somebody, blowing up something, or just driving a car off a river. It could be any one of those things. And with these missions, you get points. With every 100,000 points, you unlock a new city. And when you unlock a new city, you get a cutscene. Now, I'm gonna let you take a look at some of these cutscenes. Some of these are weird, and some you might recognize some people from the later Grand Theft Auto games. But these cutscenes are. Some of these are creepypasta material, some of these are meme material, so I'll just let you take a look at some of them.
Hey, Aruzo, I got a warning for you from Bald Man Sonetti. Cross him again, I'll stick a gun up your ass or blow your f***ing eyeballs out. Capiche?
Nice work, kid. The shit's at the f***ing fan. The cops are crawling up my ass with flashlights looking for you. I booked you a flight to San Andreas.
We are building a crime syndicate of extraordinary magnitude. We extort money in the tradition of our ancestors. You honor our family. You have our gratitude.
Hey, pretty boy! You done real good for me, no? Now it's time for you to find out why they call me the donkey, huh? Ha ha! I'm gonna reward you personal this time!
Yeah, those cutscenes were weird. But you gotta admit, you did recognize that last person from that last cutscene. I think his name is El Burro, and he's from GTA 3. And you know, I like small things like that. It gives these characters some lore. And I'm sure you recognize some other people from those cutscenes from other games. And like I said, it gives the characters some lore and some backstory, you know? Like, what if El Burro, started in GTA 1? And then you think, what about before that? How did it lead into GTA 3? Just small questions that could be answered by Rockstar. Anyway, though, let's move on to the other games, like GTA 2. Okay, now GTA 2 was a bit different. You see, it was set in the future and there was these three gangs. Let's just say you join a gang and do a job for that gang, right? But if you decide to do another, that other gang is gonna find you and gonna try to kill you. And of course, it's absolute chaos when you do a job for all three of them and they're all out to kill you. Now, I don't really know much about story-wise in this game, but it's basically the same as GTA 1, just do jobs, win points, and I don't even think it's multiple cities this time. It all takes place in like one big area in the future. Now, this game improves with gunplay, music, and just small improvements. Now, when you shoot somebody, you could barely even tell. You just have to keep on shooting until somebody dies. With GTA 2, it's easy to tell. When you shoot a gun, you could actually see the bullet hitting somebody. You could see a car explode. With GTA 1, I feel like the PS1 version was the weaker version of the original Grand Theft Auto. You see, the original Grand Theft Auto released on PC, and from the looks of it, that version seems better compared to the PS1 version, even though the PS1 version made Grand Theft Auto popular. But back to GTA 2. Basically, everything in this game seems a lot more improved. It's a lot better, driving a whole different ball game, and music. GTA 1 had some nice offerings, and it's not like the later games where there's copyrighted music. Rockstar North actually works with BMG Interactive, and they actually produced their own music. It was a mix of different genres, like country, hip-hop, techno, pop. Just basic genres. And again, some radio stations from the PS2 generation like Head Radio and some others make an appearance in Grand Theft Auto 1. So again, that's kind of like another piece of lore. But with GTA 2, there's more or less a focus on a futuristic soundtrack. So let's just say there's techno, futuristic hip hop, just small stuff like that. Last but not least, let's talk about GTA London. Grand Theft Auto London. I know I already reviewed this game, but let's talk about it again. So there's two versions of it. There was GTA London 1961, which released on PC, and there was GTA London 1969, which released on the PlayStation 1. That version I actually have experience with that. I haven't played the one on the PC quite yet. Grand Theft Auto London is kind of simple. It's kind of like an expansion pack for Grand Theft Auto 1. And it has this weird fact about it. So when I got this game, it didn't tell me on the back that you needed the original Grand Theft Auto disc to play this game. It works like this.
So what you gotta do is you gotta open it up, put the GTA London disc in there. Of course, classic PS1 startup. Alright, let's just let it load. Alright, and it should give you this error. Install the Grand Theft Auto disc, and basically what it's saying is install the original Grand Theft Auto disc and it should be able to start up. So just gotta take this out, install this one, and press X. There we go, it should be loading. There we go. Take this one out. Put in the GTA London disc. And press X. Should be loading. Alright. Can't tell if it froze or if it's loading. Oh, there we go. Alright, should be starting up. Yeah, so this is basically what you got to do in order to start up this disc, and so in order to start up this game. The box doesn't really tell you anything about this, but yeah, that's how it works. Back to you, Digital Nostalgia.
I know that real life segment was really cringe. I apologize for that, but I feel like that's what you have to do because the box doesn't really say anything about installing the original Grand Theft Auto disc. So like I said, this game is really an expansion pack for the original Grand Theft Auto, so I guess I kind of understand it, but again, I apologize for that real life segment. Anyway though, GTA London, it's a great game. It's basically Grand Theft Auto 1 with British slang into it. It's slightly better graphics, still the same gunplay. It's basically the same game but with a British twist. So what makes these games great? It laid out the foundation for future Grand Theft Autos. Just running, gunning, stealing cars, free roaming, do whatever you can to have fun. Barely anybody followed the mission concept in these games, and to be honest, I wouldn't too. I mean, whenever I load up this game, all I do is steal cars, kill people, and cause massive mayhem. But that's what makes these games great. You can do that in the 3D world, and yeah, sure, it's gonna feel the same. It's gonna be a lot better. But I feel like there's something like humble about doing it in a top-down sense. Like this is Rockstar's first take at an open-world game, and I feel like that's what makes these games great. Anyway, I'm sorry for the real-life thing. I know it's cringy. I apologize. That won't happen again. But if you made it this far into the video, I would really appreciate it if you could maybe leave a like and maybe subscribe, and now leave a comment. I appreciate those more than likes. So yeah, hopefully you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.
Soul making, sound shaking, earth quaking, change.
only /MFW. Fingerprints are unrecognizable because I covered myself in oil.
Who pooped in the peanut butter?